YouTube, man. What's good, man? What's good, man? This is your guy, Manny. And this is the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, please like, please subscribe, please share. I cover Washington football to Lakers to NFL and NBA, fantasy football, you name it. You're in the right place. So, wanted to talk about the Julio Jones trade. I couldn't talk about it yesterday. It was family time, Sunday. But so the Titans traded for Julio Jones. The Falcons get the 2022 second rounder and 2023 fourth rounder. The Titans get Julio Jones and a sixth rounder in year 2023. Also, the Titans take on his salary of $15.3 million in 2021 and the rest of the deal. Now, obviously, I don't know how much the rest of the deal actually is with Julio, but the guy is going to command a lot of money, and he might also ask for an extension too. So, how does this deal impact? Um, how does this deal impact the Titans? So the Titans are getting a player in Julio Jones who has done some magnificent things over his career. And I'm going to pull up his stats in a minute because a lot of times, we hear Julio Jones and we don't really understand the magnitude of who Julio Jones is. The guy is arguably one of the best wide receivers to ever do it. And even at age 32, I still believe he has a lot in the tank. So the Titans are getting a phenomenal talent. They're going to get a guy that can, so you cannot stack the box anymore. You know what I'm saying? You still got Derrick Henry. You got A.J. Brown on the other side. So, like, for this deal to happen, it was just crazy. Ladarius, man, what's up, man? I'm about to put your comment on the stream real quick. Let me pull up these stats. So let me pull up your comment. So Ladarius said, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Julio Jones, offense is about to be filthy. Yes, not only is the offense going to be filthy, we have to remember that Ryan Tannehill is no slouch. Ryan Tannehill can play some ball. He can play some ball. So when you look at Julio Jones, right, let's look at it together. All right, so 2011 rookie season, almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. That was like his coming out party. And I remember that year I had him in fantasy football. Next year, 2012, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. And I'm like, man, but you know what? He hasn't had he's only had double-digit touchdowns just one time in his career, and it was his second season. Next year he got hurt, and that's kind of like when you start to think, okay, maybe this guy has some, injury history. Can he really bounce back? And he bounced back in a big way. 2014, 104 yards, 1,500 yards, 6 touchdowns. And next year, 136 receptions, 136 receptions, 1,800 yards, 8 touchdowns. All right, and we're like, okay, that's when we knew Julio is the best receiver in the league. Next year, 1,400, 1,400, 1,600, 1,300. So he had like, I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight seasons of 1,300 yards or more. That's the kind of guy he is. The real, what's up, man? What's up? What's good with you? Ladarius says, if I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be trying to get to the Titans. Hey, why not, man? Hey, Aaron Rodgers on the Titans would just be crazy, but I don't know if they have the money in the cap to, absorb that kind of contract. The real says he's headed to KC on an airplane. Um, Gotta leave King. Sorry. Okay. Hey, no problem, bro, man. Just appreciate you dropping on the stream. Appreciate you dropping on the stream. Just wanted to kind of get this video out, and I just decided to go with a stream instead. So you see what Julio brings to the table, and everybody's going to talk about last season. Oh, he didn't play last season, and 51 receptions, 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. He only played like what? Was it like 9 games or so? Let's look it up. Let's look at how many games he played. Because if you project, okay, he played 11 games. Still, if he played 16, I mean, he played 9 games. So that's like almost half a season. If he does another half of this, that's like 1,400 yards. That's at least 6 touchdowns. So Julio is good for 1,300 yards. He's good for about 80 to 90 catches. You know what I'm saying? And then he's good for at least 6 touchdowns. So that's what the Titans are going to be getting consistently. You're going to be getting a guy who's going to give you 80 to 90 receptions every single year. Even with A.J. Brown, it does not matter. Julio Jones is not coming to Tennessee to be the number one wide receiver, even though he is a number one wide receiver. And guess what? Imagine if Julio is going against the second best corners in the NFL. Look at the impact that Julio is going to give you. So it's crazy, man. It's bananas. Titans clearly won this deal. to get a generational talent like Julio for a second and a fourth. Just makes them better. So moving forward, you got your quarterback that's decent. He can throw that deep ball. That's one. Number two, you got your two good receivers, two number one wide receivers on both sides, right? Then three, you have Derrick Henry. So you can't stack the boxes anymore to take Henry away. Like, what do you do? Who do you double? Who do you double? Do you double Julio? AJ Brown goes off. I mean, this offense is as good as any offense in the league. And I think the Titans literally have the best offense in the NFL with Julio Jones on the team. Like, you can't dispute that. Like, Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs in the league. And all this trade did was help to make Derrick Henry even better. Derrick Henry is almost guaranteed for 1,600 yards rushing. With an extra game, with 17-game season, there's no doubt in my mind that Derrick Henry can easily average 100 yards a game. If they get up on some people, they can run, kill some clock. So it's real interesting. It's real interesting. And then when we talk fantasy football, right? I've seen Julio Jones go super late in drafts. What up, Hawk, man? What's good with you? I've seen Julio Jones go super late in the fantasy drafts because he's old, the age, the injury bug, and all this stuff, right? But he's still a productive wide receiver. And based off of the stats that I'm showing you guys, even in a Julio Jones terrible year, what's been terrible outside of that one year when he got hurt in his rookie season when he had 900 yards? You're seeing what you're getting out of Julio. He still has plenty left in the tank. This is a guy that's an all-star or a Pro Bowl every single year. You know what I'm saying? So even if Julio doesn't really perform or if Julio is not even all that good, the floor is 1,000 yards. He's gonna get you at least 80 catches. So let's just say that Julio comes to Tennessee and he takes a step back. You're talking about 100 yards receiving. You're talking about 80 catches, and you're talking about okay, three to five touchdowns. That's still gonna help the Titans. Julio Jones is a major upgrade over Corey Davis. So this is a smash home run hit for the Titans. Hawk says, add the Titans up there as teams that have passed Baltimore this offseason. Yes, Baltimore is lunching. Let's let this go down. So yeah, Baltimore, I don't know what Baltimore is doing. You are a team who needs a wide receiver. You're a team that needs offensive help. And you draft the Rashard Bateman, and that's not even enough. You know what I'm saying? Like just like you said, I mean, when you look at the teams in the AFC, you got Kansas City. I still put Kansas City number one. Okay. Buffalo is a close number two. It's a toss-up between Buffalo and Kansas City. But the reason why I say Kansas City won is because Kansas City, they still have Mahomes. They didn't get any worse offensively. They didn't get any worse defensively, right? But Buffalo, they didn't even get any better. They're good, but they didn't get a running back. So you still got that running back hole with Buffalo. When you look at the Titans, they got better. I mean, you can almost put these guys over these guys. So I mean, it just all depends on how you look at it. Give me 1 second. Hey, my bad, guys, man. At work. But yeah, man. So when you look at the Julio Jones deal, Titans win, and Hawk made an excellent point right here. Hawk was talking about Sammy Watkins as a number 2 wide receiver, high end number 3 wide receiver at this stage of his career. Yeah, I don't think that Sammy Watkins is an impact player at all. I don't think Sammy Watkins is the receiver that these guys needed. So it just is what it is. Titans really improved, and Baltimore really declined. Even with Rashad Bateman out there, hopefully Rashad Bateman is that guy. Hopefully he works out perfectly for these guys. But yeah, man, that's that, man. That's that. And then when you talk about the fantasy impact, you talk about the fantasy impact on what teams bring to the table. I mean, what Julio brings to the table. Julio is going to be a wide receiver 2 in fantasy. He's solid. He still knows how to get open. And if he's going against like the worst corners in the league, like he's still going to produce. Like I've said before, 80 catches, 100 yards, 5 touchdowns is the floor for Julio Jones, and those are still nice wide receiver 2 numbers. When you look at the impact for AJ Brown, he's still going to be a low end, mid tier wide receiver 2 in terms of production. I don't think he gets like 10 touchdowns like he did last season. This year, I'm looking at AJ maybe like around the same stats as Julio, but maybe 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns. I'll probably say about 80 something receptions, 1,000 yards, and about 7 touchdowns. That's what I see out of AJ Brown. Ladarius says, I don't see Tampa Bay winning this year. The championship definitely coming out of the AFC. Yeah, the AFC stacked. Yeah, I don't see Tampa winning either. I mean, as good as Tampa was last year, they didn't get any better, and they got a year older. They say don't count out Tom Brady, blah blah. Yeah, I get it. NFC got a little better. Um, you're gonna have teams like Green Bay competing. You're gonna have teams like, well, the Saints got worse. So I mean, I don't know. The NFC is just kind of like a toss up. Maybe somebody from the NFC East is gonna be able to contend with Tampa. I don't know. When you look at the whole landscape of the NFC, off the top of my head, I'll probably say the Seahawks, maybe the 49ers, the Cardinals. Those are some of the teams that off the top of my head, I can say, you know what, these guys can compete with Tampa Bay. But in the AFC, man, it's stacked, it's loaded, man. You got the Titans, you got Buffalo, you got Kansas City, you got Baltimore. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? And don't sleep on teams like the Raiders and Chargers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But there says, yeah, the Saints are awful. Saints are pretty bad. So yeah, man. Just wanted to get on here, man, just kind of talk the impact of Julio Jones. Since I kind of missed the big splash yesterday and I was just so busy with fam, just want to kind of get on here and talk some Julio Jones. Ladarius says they love them some Taysom Hill. Yeah, they love Taysom Hill, but I don't think that Taysom Hill starts the season as the quarterback. I think it's going to be a Jameis Winston. Then if Jameis Winston stinks it up, then you're going to see a lot of Taysom Hill. But either way it goes, you're going to see a lot of Taysom Hill in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? And with the Alvin Kamara impact, it's all about, is Alvin Kamara really going to eat with this team the way that it's set up? I mean, Jameis Winston, can you get the ball to Kamara? Kamara has had at least 81 receptions every single year that he's been in the league. So the impact for Alvin Kamara, I don't know. It can go either way. It can go either way. So can he receive another 80 receptions from Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill? We also then when Taysom Hill came in the game last year and took over, Kamara's stats went down. So that's something to look at. You know what I'm saying? The Saints are going to be bad. They're going to be terrible. The defense is straight, but it's going to be, can the offense generate enough to make them relevant? They still got Michael Thomas. You still got Kamara. A lot of teams would pray for Kamara and Michael Thomas to be on their offense. So we'll see what happens there with the Saints. They didn't make any moves in the draft to really solidify that offense. But the defense, like I said, is going to be nice. But yeah, this is my time, y'all. Just let me know what you guys think in the comment section. For those of you guys that are going to be watching the replay, let me know if you guys think the Titans are going to be a top 3 team in the AFC. Also in the comments, let me know if the Titans have a shot at beating Baltimore or Kansas City in the playoffs. Everybody talks Titans offense, but what is the Titans defense looking like? So overall, great trade for the Titans. Great trade for the Falcons because they couldn't get a first for Julio. They should have traded him a long time ago, but it is what it is, guys. Once again, this is your guy, Manny. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you guys on the next stream or the next video. Y'all be blessed.